Hey guys, this is EGStrifeCro and I'm back to cast another 2v2. This will be on Tempest, and it's going to be a rematch between ROOTdrewbie, the red Terran, and his partner will be Mindset, the blue Zerg. So actually they have switched races, and that makes me, or leads me to believe that these games may not have been played in a row. However, the races, the combined races between all four teams will be the same, as StrifeCro will be Zerg, the purple Zerg to be exact, and EGAxSlav will be the teal Protoss. Excuse me, this game. So I think I was starting to talk about something last game about how it is in a ZT versus ZP. It's really the Zerg players. It's just from what I've been watching, the double extractor trick here from Mindset. From what I've been watching, the Zerg players have they're always getting early Zerglings because they have to counter if the opponent gets early Zerglings, you will lose if you don't get any early Zerglings. So you pretty much forced your hand in these team games to get some early Zerglings. And it does depend a little on the scouting, but it looks like EGAxSlav is going to immediately scout the location of Mindset and see the timing of the spawning pool, which was a 12. And so yeah, what I was gonna say is, EGAxSlav is gonna build on the low ground down here. Very interesting. Is the Terran player is sort of the trump card, as like the Terran player is pretty flexible in what they can go after, and I've been seeing these high level players, they continuously go after the Hellions even against Protoss, which is surprising to me, because I was thinking like my natural tendency would be to gear myself towards getting Marauders. However, you've noticed how a lot of them do is actually get both. They'll go right for Hellions, as this is probably what ROOTdrewbie is going to do. He's going to go for Hellions, and then he is going to transition into Marauders when the Stalkers start to get all over the place. So, anyway, you guys, most of you are pretty familiar with that stuff. Now, interesting how StrifeCro is going to completely wall off this bottom entrance, and yet leave the top entrance here completely wide open. So it's gonna be, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he decides to maybe throw down a forge here pretty soon somewhere to shore up these defenses, as the Zerglings are coming in here. EGAxSlav knows the Zerglings are on the way. He should know that anyway, but there's one Zealot out here. Now I like the positioning actually of these two pylons in relation to the Zealot, and the timing of the Zerglings from StrifeCro is perfect. The Zealot, gotta be careful there. He will be able to come back, and that's something that I make the mistake of all the time. You guys got to remember, your first Zealot, microing your first Zealot is so important. I cannot overstate the importance of that, at least in my experience, as now he finally has completed this wall up, and the Zealot can simply hold position, and you don't have to worry about microing him anymore, really, as he will be able to get out Stalkers and Sentries to defend the buildings and pylons here. As I was just going to say, there's actually 4 gateways already coming down for EGAxSlav. So many times it's happened where I've been taking my Zealot, and Zerglings are going to try and harass my pylon or something when I don't have a wall in or anything to hold position my Zealot, or I forced to run my Zealot out because they're picking away at the gateway and or cybernetics core, and I don't have enough. Here comes some Hellions, so I'll get back to that in a second, as Mindset and Drewbie are going to try and break through this. A force field is going down. It's going to protect this entrance for a little bit. The Banelings have finished for StrifeCro, sitting in the back. I'm not sure if Mindset sees. He does see one Baneling there, so he's got to be a little bit careful, as Mindset is saying, I'm going to go for Roaches, because he sees all these Banelings back here, and these Hellions actually could... Ooh, one Baneling made it through and blew up on half of Mindset's army. He is so pissed right now, as StrifeCro has just got to be giggling. He can't believe his one Baneling actually made it in there. And it's similar to what I was talking about with the early Zealot. If you look away in those kind of little battles for just a second, you get screwed, man. Same with those Zerglings. How many times have I ended up losing an entire game just because I looked away from my early Zealot for like 1 second to throw down a building somewhere, or a pylon in my main, or an assimilator, or something that stupid. I'm throwing down an assimilator and I come back and my Zealot is surrounded and I cannot get out. and I'm completely killed by Zerglings, and then the Zerglings move on to kill my pylon, and then it's just like, oh my god, you have to be kidding me. So, long story short, do not neglect your early Zealot or early units at all when they are in close proximity to the enemy. I think it is actually more worth it to sit on your extra minerals and gas until you are sure that you're going to have that split second to look away to build your desired building. And again, if anybody has some comments regarding any of these rants or this game at all, oh no, I'm just retarded. I was like, oh my god, Zerglings are surrounding the Hellions, but they're on the same team, so they're not doing anything. Oh my god, see, that's what happens when I start ranting. I'm like, oh, that's not even going to be a fight, as here comes the Hellions to see that they don't want to fight this, and they are going to run away. And actually going to come around maybe and check the bottom side. No, it looks like Drewbie is just going to sort of try and be really annoying, and a couple of force fields could make him pay for that. No, as that's actually a good amount of energy wasted, as there's only 3 sentries here and only enough energy for 2 force fields currently. So interesting there. And so EGAxSlav already has a robotics facility finished. The observer's on the way. So we are shaping up for a pretty long-term game, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like EGStrifeCro has he's got static defense going down at his new fresh natural expansion. So EGStrifeCro and EGAxSlav, they're content to sit back and defend right now because they will shortly have a significant economic advantage. A bunch of Marauders are on the way out for Drewbie to go with those Hellions. Just what I was talking about before. EGAxSlav does see that obviously with this observer here. So very strong anti-ground force here from Drewbie and a bunch of roaches to support from Mindset. This is going to be a very intense battle. Positioning is going to be huge. The force fields and or lack thereof are going to be very, very important. This sentry getting caught out of position for EGAxSlav, and that's could be huge. And he doesn't have that many force fields left. Only 1 is able to go down there. 2 force fields, not that much going on there. Banelings rolling right into the front here and trying to blow up as many Hellions as they can, but not able to do very much damage. Oh man, it looks like the roaches and the Marauders are just mowing their way into this base, just forcing their way in here. Got to try and take out this spine crawler, and they will. Mindsets or roaches will do that, and EGAxSlav and EGStrifeCro are struggling right now. They have got to be scrambling to get out some sort of defenses. A bunch of Zerglings are coming out for EGStrifeCro. Another Immortal is coming out for EGAxSlav. This Immortal is going to be huge if he can focus it on the Marauders. And the Zerglings, though, forced to fall back. It looks like EGAxSlav is going to go ahead and try and rebuild this power this pylon here and try and hold the line behind these unpowered warp gates and just completely give up this base. As a nice unit composition there from Drewbie and Mindset, but it does not look like they're going to be able to break through this area. They're going to continue to apply the pressure. EGAxSlav has managed to repower these buildings. Roaches are going to come in here, but again, a couple of roaches scooting in and they will get trapped. And this Marauder, this now 2 Immortals for EGAxSlav are going to be able to rip apart these roaches. But look, the warp gate goes down. And oh, the Zerglings coming in at a perfect time to try and get the surround. If these Immortals can continue to focus down the Marauders, Immortals are MVPs right now. 5 kills on this Immortal, 8 kills on this Immortal. Those are all Roach and Marauder kills, I believe. So much damage being done there by these Immortals. Got to be careful not to overextend, though, as there are some stimmed up Marauders going to be able to pick off 1 Immortal, and it looks like the second one is also going to go down. EGAxSlav maybe should have thought about holding back and pushing out, as those Immortals were huge for him, but he did lose 2 of those. And was it a bad rally point? Not really, because you don't really rally warp gate units. So wow, that was a pretty intense couple of minutes of battle right there. Nicely done by Mindset and Drewbie to take away the advantage that EGStrifeCro had with his early expansion. He's rebuilding that, and now EGAxSlav and EGStrifeCro are going to go ahead and rally their troops down here. A much more useful position, because now he will be able to cover EGAxSlav's natural expansion as well. And at the same time, Mindset and Drewbie have been working on their expansions, and Drewbie does have this orbital command up, but Zerglings are going to make it right in here. EGStrifeCro has had this Overlord just chilling here this entire time. Drewbie has nothing that can shoot air units, and oh, EGAxSlav is going to be coming in here too. They are going to be trying to... Are they trying to take out this entire base right now? It looks like they're overextending themselves. Again, Immortals are going to get picked off. Can they do enough damage before they die? You see EGAxSlav trying to focus down on these Marauders and kill as many of them as he possibly can. Another Immortal getting caught up here, getting 0 kills. And oh man, EGAxSlav, man. The fact that EGAxSlav and StrifeCro are even still in this after that huge early engagement is ridiculous. But I've got to critique EGAxSlav right now on his Immortal usage. If it were me, I'm not saying if it were me, I'd have lost a long time ago. But if it were me after this certain point a couple of minutes ago, I definitely would have been trying to save some of these Immortals and get them masked up, as they're so much more effective. Every Immortal you add to another Immortal really makes them exponentially more powerful, as it becomes more and more difficult for the opponent to try and focus them down. And you can just one-shot all these heavy units and stuff, and ooh, here comes some drop play from ROOTdrewbie. He is loading up some Marauders, and he actually has a couple of Marines here. Looks like he got tired of an Overlord sitting on his mineral line 15 minutes into the game, as nobody has any air units at all. There's no Mutalist play, nothing going on right now, unless I totally missed it. And ROOTdrewbie saying, I will drop them both. He is sending a dropship around either side, so it's going to get pretty interesting here. Some Zerglings look like needed to be cleaned up. Some StrifeCro was trying to do some harassment. Here comes the dropship. Units stimming up, running right in the middle of the line, but looks like EGAxSlav is ready for this. Not a whole lot of damage. It's going to be done. The dropship does die. And here comes the other dropship. Mindset. Excuse me. EGAxSlav is going to see this with this pylon. So it looks like ROOTdrewbie is going to go ahead and just drop a bunch of Marines off to kill the pylon. As EGAxSlav is going to be scrambling, he's going to need to get some units down here to kill this, as ROOTdrewbie is like, okay, fine, you're not even going to bother. Now here comes a couple of Immortals and a couple of Stalkers, as actually ROOTdrewbie is going to start elevatoring these units down here to try and kill some more probes. His Immortals are so annoyed right now. They're like, why are we even being sent after a bunch of Marines in the first place? As StrifeCro pulling back all of these units here. And I'm surprised Mindset didn't make a harassment play at the same time. But not a whole lot of damage being done there. StrifeCro and EGAxSlav, actually it's mostly EGAxSlav defending that. His main is pretty much mined out, whereas StrifeCro still has a lot of minerals. Checking income really quickly. Yeah, Team EG is way behind in the income count. So it looks like we are going to be seeing a large battle here pretty soon. These 3 Immortals could have been a lot more like 6 or 7 Immortals at this point. Obviously this army would have been larger as well, but with so many Marines in this army, those Immortals are going to be in trouble. They're going to need to... sorry, I'm like rubbing my nose because it's all itchy, and it probably is making me sound all funny. And I don't know what the deal is, man. I have issues. Finally, there is a Spire coming out from Mindset, so that is going to be sweet. And like I said, it's going to come down to look at all the Immortals now for EGAxSlav continuing to pump these out. If the Marines can focus down the Immortals, or if the Immortals can focus down the Roaches, is going to make a huge difference in this battle. As you see, positioning is going to be very important. EGAxSlav is trying to spread all his units out. StrifeCro is keeping his Zerglings in the back to wait until these units come into range. He's actually got a bunch of Zerglings and Banelings in here too, so this Baneling is going to have to try and hit the Marines. This is going to be a crazy battle coming up here, and there is creep, so that is going to make the Banelings that much faster. So does that give the edge to EGAxSlav and StrifeCro? I'm not sure. If we look at the army count, they are pretty far behind, so I'm not sure if I could say that that gives them the edge. As the scout is coming down here to see what's going on, and ROOTdrewbie is saying scout. The other expansions, he's also taking a sneak expansion down here, and they just want to make sure that there aren't any sneak expansions for their opponents, because they have the better contain right now, occupying the middle of the map. Though EGAxSlav and StrifeCro, are ROOTdrewbie and Mindset going to just try and starve them out? But look at Mindset coming out with 10 Mutalists here. Gonna fly right into StrifeCro's main, and oh, he doesn't have anything to deal with that. So they're gonna go ahead, it looks like, and push, because they know they can't fight off all the Mutalists. The Immortals getting caught a little bit in front of where they would like to be. Where are the Banelings trying to get into the Marines here? Some nice force fields trapping a lot of the Marines right now. It looks like EGAxSlav may actually be able to push back this attack, and StrifeCro losing most of his forces in there, but able to do quite a bit of damage. ROOTdrewbie is falling back. And where are the Mutalisks right now? Are they inside the main? They are inside EGAxSlav's main. The robotic facility goes down. I do not believe that Immortal was cancelled in time, which means losing a lot of stuffs. And by stuffs, I mean minerals. And here comes another engagement. ROOTdrewbie is going to double back, coming around the backside, using the stim, focusing down these Immortals as quickly as possible. StrifeCro pushing back the Marines with a little bit of Zerglings, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It looks like Drewbie's going to have the edge here. No upgrades for any players, but still, the stimmed up Marines, Marauders, the medevacs healing them from the air. There are 6 medevacs in here. Mutalisks even getting in on the action. GGs go down from Team EG. So a pretty exciting match there. Thank you, Mindset, for sending me this game. That was very exciting. There were some really long, intense battles, especially that whole battle here at the beginning. I can't believe EGAxSlav and StrifeCro were even able to hold on there. So a pretty exciting game there. And so that's going to do it for me. Thumbs up if you liked the game. Thumbs up if you liked the commentary. You know the deal. This is Irie StarCraft. Thanks for watching, and peace out.